Hello, it's Beth here, your Panama relocation expert. I hope that everybody is doing fine, well, safe, sane. It's crazy, crazy times, definitely unprecedented. And of course, we're all just doing the best that we can in our personal lives as well as in our business lives. So I wanted to come and do a quick kind of rundown of what's going on in Panama, kind of my own insight or thoughts of what's to come, and then also what Try Panama is doing and what we have planned for the future. So currently, for those of you who are not in Panama, Panama has implemented some of the most strict quarantine regulations in the world. So they've done quite an impressive job. Our president, Nito Cortizo, he reacted very quickly back in March and shut down the country little by little. And for the past, I want to say 3 or 4 weeks, we have been on an incredibly strict quarantine where women are allowed out 3 days a week, men are allowed out the 2 days a week, because a lot of males are breaking quarantine. So we know who's the most rebellious of the genders now, don't we? But we already knew that. So women can leave Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and men can leave on Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. For the past 3 weeks, no one's been able to leave, and you're allowed out for 1 hour based off of the last digit of your cedula, and then you get 30 minutes before and after for travel time. So very, very strict. People have been arrested, fined. In another province, a lot of people broke quarantine, and their punishment was community service. So they're not playing around. So, as in most countries, it's difficult to tell. It hasn't been announced as of this recording. As of today, April 24th, we don't know when the country's going to reopen. I think most people anticipate it happening probably in the end of May, early June. I think everyone knows that it's just unfeasible to shut down a country for, months at a time. So I think probably most likely the month of May, things will continue as they are. And then the president has said that he will open up little by little, based off of area and then types of business, right? So that's what COVID-19 looks like in Panama. What will happen to the real estate market? Again, none of us have a crystal ball. We don't really know the answer to that for sure, but I'm constantly listening to podcasts. I'm always studying, obviously, the Panama real estate market as well as other markets internationally. And based off of what I'm currently seeing in my own company as well as with other real estate firms that I collaborate with, obviously for our short-term investors, everything was canceled. Most of us use Airbnb as a platform for revenue, and Airbnb is pretty much shut down completely. So all reservations were canceled. For me, everything was canceled for a month of March, April, May. I still have some upcoming short-term reservations for June, July. I'm hoping that they don't cancel. So for those short-term properties and then also for those investors, it was discouraging because March is the last month of high season. So obviously it's one of the months that investors are really depending on getting a huge chunk of their yearly revenue. But on the positive side, April and May are the beginning of rainy season, and they're typically low revenue months anyways. So luckily it happened at a time where those investors wouldn't be seeing a huge amount of their yearly revenue anyhow. So that's the positive. It would have been very detrimental had this have happened in December, like right at the beginning of our high season. For long-term tenants and properties, we've seen a lot of renewals. If their leases were going to be up in this time period, or I've even renewed leases that are to end in upcoming months like July, August. there's just a lot of unsurety. People aren't wanting to relocate and move at this time. So for investors that own long-term properties, that has been positive. I've also seen quite a bit of people wanting to relocate from condos to houses, even if they weren't typically a house type person in the beginning. And I think it's probably because of the quarantine, not being able to really get out and move around, so them just wanting a little more personal space. As far as the sales market goes, now keep in mind that when I give these types of updates, they're predominantly in the market that I serve, which is from Chame de Buenaventura. We call it Panama Oeste is the province, mainly the Coronado area. So the trends that I'm seeing currently, excuse me, it's not COVID. It's not COVID, promise. The trends that I'm currently seeing are obviously not going to be applicable to Panama City or any. So this is just for my clients that I serve here at the beach areas, and then obviously, of course, anyone interested in investing or relocating to the beach areas. As far as the sales market, it was already a buyer's market before COVID came, obviously with lots of supply. So I don't really anticipate the supply increasing because there was already so much anyway, and I highly doubt that a lot of property owners are going to decide to put their properties on the market at this time or in the upcoming months. Our prices were already incredibly low, very competitive. So I think that we're going to see a decline in sales prices probably in the next upcoming months. But again, I don't think it's going to be anything drastic because we were already at probably the lowest that prices have been within the last 5 years, in some cases within the last decade. So good news there as well for buyers, not for sellers, but it wasn't going that great for sellers anyways. As far as the Panama economy, it's really at an advantage because Panama's portfolio is super diverse. They've got the canal, also mining. There was a copper mine discovered up it's about 2 hours from Coronado, where they estimate another 10 years of mining to continue. So that's super, super positive, as well as Panama being the financial banking system in Latin America, and also tourism. Now, obviously, tourism has declined for the time being because the borders have been closed, so no one has been able to travel in or out of Panama. But obviously, once those borders reopen, I kind of anticipate, our area has always been always top 10 places to retire, countries to retire. Panama always is on that list, and they're usually within the top 3. So I don't think we're going to see a decline in foreigners looking to relocate to Panama. If anything, we will probably, it'll either stay the same, or I'm thinking that we might see an influx of people wanting to relocate for a variety of reasons. A would be potentially how Panama took care of the pandemic, how they reacted. It kind of gives people a sense of safety and security, which Panama, one of the top reasons of people relocating to Panama even before COVID was for safety reasons. And then obviously the economy, we're anticipating a really quick bounce back from Panama. I've read a lot of economists are anticipating Panama being the wealthiest, best off country in Latin America by the end of the year. And then you also have a group of people, I think, that fall into that if not now, when category. I know that this pandemic has been kind of scary for everyone, and there's probably a big group of people who always dreamt of retiring, relocating to, a tropical place or living on a beach, and they decide to kind of pull the trigger because this was a really good example of life is short. So as far as what Try Panama is currently doing, we are, just like everyone else in the world, we're serving our clients, both our property owners and our renters, virtually. but we are very much still online. For properties that are vacant, luckily we're very well connected, so if some of our team members, they live in condo projects where we have quite a bit of inventory, so they're able to pop in and make sure that everything's okay. And for the buildings where we don't have any team members, we are well connected and have some friends come just going in and checking for us on a weekly basis. So we're also not going to give away all of our secrets, but we're definitely working on some things that will kind of put us at an advantage. We're going to be ready to rock and roll as soon as the ban is lifted, the quarantine is lifted, and we're ready to get back to work. Just implementing some more, digitally friendly practices, as well as methods for our clients to either go and see a property or rent a property, just in a more safe way, to where they don't feel like their personal space is being invaded. So we're definitely doing our best. I think the future's bright. I don't think it's all doom and gloom. And I think we can all learn from this. And as always, Try Panama is here if you have any questions regarding purchasing, renting, relocating to the Panama area. Send me a personal message, or you can email me at beth@trypanama.com. I always love to hear from you guys. And obviously, we always love the opportunity to get to meet you and work with you and help you kind of fulfill that dream. So I hope that you stay well and stay safe. And I will continue with updates as they come along, and hoping for a quick bounce back, and hoping to return to normal as soon as possible. So take care, and until next time.